Hey guys, we are back again with another unboxing, or are we? You know, I thought it's time to go rogue. I have this awesome studio here with a great team of gemologists, geologists, and a fantastic production crew, but y'all really don't know what goes on at JTV behind the scenes. Today's episode is somewhere between cribs and a gem venture. So we are gonna leave the studio, I'm gonna take you all around JTV, we're gonna meet some cool people, most of which you've already met, and we're gonna kind of see what the life of a gemstone is like here. So to get started, I think this camera needs to back up. Back it up, back it up. Stop right there. Can you see the set? So this is where all the fun happens. I have my black backdrop, white table, gray box. Usually in the corner of the table or on the floor, I have my cell phones, coffee, water, lipstick, hairspray, all of the necessities. But hey, this is kind of the end of the process for a gemstone at JTV, so we're gonna head out of the studio and go see where the beginning is. And that is with my best buds, Christopher and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is super awesome. You've seen her on the show before. She's actually our curator here at JTV, is in charge of picking up awesome stones from all over the place. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
As you guys can see, there's tons of really different looking mineral specimens. I hope someday to do a lot more gemstones. A lot of what I do is I pick out a lot of really interesting and neat mineral specimens, but quite a bit of what we have actually comes out of lot bought collections.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So what happens is we either find somebody, we hear about something, just something along the grapevine comes along and we hear about a possible ability to purchase a large group of specimens, and it can be anywhere from 5 to what the first collection I ever got here for JTV was actually close to 5,000. Recently, or more recently, I had to do the JTV airport display. Well, so I got to get my gemologist on and play with all of the really beautiful gemstones and make a display in our local airport, which is huge. It's got, I believe, almost 200, actually no, it's over that.
Really?
It's like 300 gemstones, minerals, and pieces of jewelry in it.
So cool. So if you go through the Knoxville airport, you can thank Elizabeth for her awesome work. And now I'm with Christopher, who you all are very familiar with. But what's also super cool is his desk, which is probably the most interesting desk at JTV. Christopher, can I say that?
I'm pretty happy with it.
He's pretty happy with it. You have all your little collectibles, specimens, and jewelry. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do and a little bit about all the fun things on your desk?
Here at Jewelry Television, my title is Gemologist and Concierge. So I started off doing a lot of testing, a lot of sorting of gemstones. Over the years, that evolved into doing some of the buying and eventually editing the Cis Gemology reference. Thing is every department at JTV, of course, works with gemstones in some way. So sometimes jewelry has questions about gemstones, so I may need to research either a treatment or origin or just find out information or stories about where the gemstone comes from. We may need testing to be done. There are all sorts of projects that need to be done. This here, for instance, we're looking at doing a project where we're just filming the cutting of a large stone. So I'm looking through these pieces of rough right now. For the concierge program, I find specific pieces for clients that they're looking for their collections. If it's something we don't have in stock, then I need to go out and find it.
So while you're talking, I'm looking at all of, you love pins.
I love pins.
I know, and you like spheres. So tell us a little about pins and spheres.
I like to wear gemstones because I love gemstones. The bolo ties, the pins, I even keep cufflinks handy just in case I need to wear them for an event. The spheres, I was actually challenged to do a sphere collecting contest. A year and a half later or so, I'm up to over 100.
All right, Christopher, thank you so much. You rock, pun intended. Guys, we've seen the first couple stops for a gemstone here at JTV, and now we are gonna jump to a different part of the building, and we are gonna check out some other familiar faces and learn more about what happens here at JTV behind the scenes. Let's go. Joseph, who is one of our lapidaries here, super talented, and you've all met him before on a past video. And we are in the lapidary studio. Tell me where we are right now. Tell me
cutting room.
Cutting room. Tell me a little bit about what this is and what I'm seeing over here.
We can do everything pretty much here from the ground zero. You know, we can perform slicing we can faceting and
That's
polish
so
it.
cool.
And we're gonna show details after we preform the stone here. We're gonna show some details how the things work from the beginning to the end.
So guys, this isn't where all of the stones on JTV are cut. This is where, you know, if there's any repairs or special orders, this is where they come. So show me
Yeah.
what we have here.
All right, let's perform.
All right, guys, so preform is when you just get the shape. So preform, and then we're gonna go over and maybe dop. Can we dop the stone and then facet some?
Yes.
Can I try one? You know what? Just kidding. I'm gonna have you do that. That's fast.
Okay, this is the stone we already doping. In the
Okay,
dop
so
stick.
dop, that
Yeah.
means it's right. So you heat
This
that.
is we call the shellac. After you melt the shellac, and then you can adjust the stone on the top of the top stick right here.
Okay.
And then after the stone cool down, the temperature cool off, and then you can put in the water. You cannot put any kind of color the stone. If it's hot, you have to wait until cool down, and then you can work.
All right. So what happens? You put the facets on the stone. What do you do next?
The thing now it's this is the polished side we have here.
What's the difference between the polish wheel and the faceting wheel, though?
Well, that's the different material. This is a crystallized lap wheel.
So what's on it?
Yeah, they make it with the real crystals and add some diamond powder
Okay.
to mash the material, the compounds together. That wheel it's able to open like a faceting every kind of stone. So this wheel, it's made by a thin lap. It's a kind of material they use for welding. And this material here in particular, after like probably couple, 3 years you use that material, this thin lap, that material is gonna be right here, very thin. So you gotta put a new one, otherwise you're gonna have vibration, especially if you get something so high.
Thank you so much for your expertise
guys.
and for showing us how gems are cut.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I am definitely not the master. You are the master. You're very talented. Keep watching, guys. We've got some more fun tricks up our sleeves. Hey guys, so on the TV you can see what anyone watching the broadcast JTV channel would see, and then right here is actually the studio. So there's several different sets that can be changed based on the show or host, and I thought this was a really cool way for you to see more behind the scenes. You know, we've seen how a gemstone gets into the building, and this is one of the ways it can get out of the building, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. I've always loved seeing the broadcast here at JTV. All right, guys, so this is also one of the last stops at JTV for a stone or a piece of jewelry. This is our shipping department, and you can see behind me that everyone is hard at work trying to get all the packages out and into your home. I always think it's so cool to see how the process is to get a stone into the shipping department and out of the shipping department, and I could probably sit here and watch this all day. All right, guys, we have one of the last stops on the JTV behind the scenes tour, and I am with a familiar face, Mr. Tim Matthews, our CEO and president. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Can you say hi to YouTube?
Delighted to be here.
Yeah, are you excited?
I am.
Great. So we have kind of talked today about the process that a gem takes through JTV. And we wanted to talk to you because you've purchased stones before. We have the President's Collection, and you are an FGA and GG yourself. So tell us a little bit about JTV.
The first thing to know about JTV is that we have a wonderful group of people working for us.
Definitely.
And it all begins with teamwork in reality. So all of the buying happens literally all over the world. South America, North America, Asia, Southeast Asia. Most people think of the gems trade as being confined to certain areas, but that's not really true at all.
It's complex.
It's really everywhere. It's very complex. The supply chain is very extensive, and we have people literally around the world looking for great values for our customers. You have to think of this as a team effort first. I'm kind of the last part of that because ultimately I make the decisions as to whether we buy or don't buy in terms of the direction that the company wants to take, what categories, what varieties and species of gemstones or jewelry. But where it gets fun is actually when I get to touch the stones. After our team has surfaced something interesting, I love it when I get that telephone call and the phone call is, "Hey Tim, what about this?" And it's described, a photo, maybe I have a chance to see it personally and actually touch it, then it gets real.
So would you say JTV is mine to market?
Absolutely mine to market.
Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit more about what that means?
What that means?
Yeah.
Sure. That means that JTV seeks to source material as close to the origination source as possible. That means talking to miners. That means talking to pearl divers. We find what the true source of the material is so that we can cut out all the middlemen who are simply marking up the goods. And then that way, when we deliver those goods to the American consumer, we can deliver a great value. One of the great things about working for Jewelry Television is that we have a team of impassioned people about gemstones and jewelry. And it really all started from the top and from the very beginning. Over 25 years ago, when Jewelry Television was founded, it was the core passion of the founders that has been infectious through the years. And I hope you have a chance to meet Bill Counts today because Bill, I know, is here. He's one of those co-founders who have made such a great difference at Jewelry Television.
What a great idea. All right, guys. So I think the next stop on today's adventure will to try and find Bill. Will you help me track him down?
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Let's head to the next spot. There he is. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Ready for YouTube?
Famous or infamous, whichever you prefer.
Now, do I get both of you for this last segment, or just Bill?
I'm Bill.
Are you done?
You're with Bill.
All right, Bill. So I've been at JTV today. I've been out of the studio, and we've been doing this kind of like behind the scenes thing to see the path of a gemstone. We wanted to talk to you because I know you are a fellow gem nerd.
Yes, I am.
And collector. So if you can just, show us around your office, tell us about your favorite specimen, why you like to collect, maybe if there's a cool piece or two you want to show off.
So first of all, I know how much you like Tiffany.
Love Tiffany.
And I happen to have a stack of Tiffany catalogs.
Can I check these out?
You may check them out. And the first one is a really special catalog because it's where Tiffany's launched Tanzanite. And so I had been searching all over trying to find these. They're very hard to find, and I found one lot in which the Tiffany's was introducing the new gem called Tanzanite by Tiffany. This is my favorite shelf in my office.
Okay.
It's all chrysocolla, and it's stalactites and stalagmites, and some of the chrysocolla is covered with chrysoprase,
How
and others
cool.
of it is coated with quartz crystals, and so the quartz gives it a really shiny look, and the chrysoprase gives it kind of a muted look. This stone right here, I think it's this stone. It's one of my favorite gemstones.
Tell me what it
It's
is.
not a lot to look at.
Can
it's
I open it
another
up?
quartz. Yeah, you can open it up with rutile needles in it. I have a micrograph of that somewhere right here.
Look at that, guys. You can see the needles and the color.
So this is what is mind-blowing. This is a picture through a microscope of that exact gemstone.
That is so cool.
And these are the hematite beads, but look at this. They're strung on a piece of thread.
That is so cool.
How could that even be possible? I just don't understand it. It's amazing.
Let me see.
This is lab created, but it's lab created cashmere colored sapphire.
Wowzers, look at that.
And,
now tell us a little bit about cashmere sapphire.
Well, cashmere sapphires, I don't think they're produced really anymore, and they're probably the most expensive of all sapphires, and they have this kind of a lighter blue color. Sometimes they're a little silky looking.
They're beautiful.
And that's the bull from which this is the grown piece from which it was cut.
All right, so we're talking today about, the process of stone here, but really the whole thing began when the company began.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about why and how you founded JTV.
Okay. I'm sort of a pseudo co-founder.
Okay.
I was working in a car wash when I was 13, and a gentleman asked me if I wanted a job in a jewelry store, and it was winter, and so I thought, you know what, get me out of the cold, and I'll be happy. They took me in, and then they started to teach me how to make and repair jewelry. And so I worked my way all through high school doing that, and then when I came here to go to college, I met Jerry Sisk in the shop, and he came down and said, hey, do you like to play chess? And I was like, I'm sure I do. I like to. I can beat you. And so, just kidding. But we had a very friendly relationship, and so we stayed friends all through as I went on in my career. And I was working in Hoffmann-La-Roche as a biochemist in Switzerland.
You have your PhD, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What's your PhD
in biochemistry?
And your master's?
Is in comparative and experimental medicine.
How cool.
So anyway, my dad died, and so I decided to move back to the United States to be close to my mom. And Jerry was just starting JTV with Bob, and so they asked me to get involved. And so I started, while I was looking for a job as a professor, it became 1 day a week, became 2 days a week, that became 5 days a week, and next thing you know, they gave me an opportunity to buy into the company. I did, and so 25 years later, here we still are.
Still here?
Yeah, in the early days, we all traveled everywhere and went to the destinations where all the gems were and met all the people. And now, at this point in one's career, you know, you more sit back and watch everybody else and enjoy the fruits of everything you did, you know.
True.
So.
All right, guys, today has been super fun being able to see behind the scenes at JTV. And Bill, thank you so much. I hope you'll come back on again.
Absolutely.
And thank you for giving me a tour of your office. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But hey, now we are back to the last stop of basically the gem at JTV, and that is this way. That was so much fun today, and a big fat thank you to everyone at JTV who was involved in this video today. I hope that we can do more Gem Venture crib-like episodes in the future. And thanks to you for watching and learning and enjoying gemstones just like I do. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You certainly don't want to miss out what we've got coming up in the future. But now it's time for the last step in the gemstone process at JTV. Gray box. What do you think is in it? Let's check it out.